man, if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? The essence, the importance of prophecies. Prophecies are made for you to be aware. And being aware, you act. But if you take it for granted and you don't act, don't blame anyone. Because all prophecies from God must come to fulfillment. I gave you a sample of the Egyptians and Pharaoh. God gave Pharaoh a vision and showed him what was going to happen in near future. But Pharaoh was unable to understand or to interpret the dream. There happened to be soothsayers whom he usually paid heavy amount of money. These people have been respected very well. Thus he called on all of them to assemble in his palace. And he told them the dream, but none of them was capable to interpret the dream. Because of what? Because such dream can only be interpreted by a servant of God, not servant of demon. Seeing vision and receiving messages, even the prophet of doom, Jezebel and his gods, all those evil people, they can equally tell. Do not forget what happened, the same Pharaoh, Moses, and Aaron. Moses will throw a rod to it turn to snake. They laughed at Moses. They throw also their own rod, turn also to snake. Because the devil always imitates Christ and God. The devil is always emulating. Whatever God put in place, he will bring what? Counterfeit. So somebody came and told Pharaoh, I know of somebody who can interpret your dream. And it was no other person than Joseph, that poor boy who out of envy, and hatred was sold and then was accused of what he did not do through the power of a woman. But his name, his reputation being destroyed, still God did not abandon him. God's grace and favor remained with him, walked with him. So in the whole land of Egypt, he happened to be the only one that was able to interpret the dream of Pharaoh.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears, withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God hath showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice, it is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, that the land perish not through the famine.
After interpreting the dream correctly, Pharaoh declared that only the God of Joseph will be served. No other God in the land. That was how God used Joseph to convert the Egyptians till that Pharaoh, the first Pharaoh, died. What Pharaoh saw in the dream started to happen. But already, God did not only give Joseph the gift of interpreting dreams, but also gave him the most important, which is solving the problem. God gave Joseph guidelines on what to do before time of disaster comes or starts. And he acted beforehand. He acted because he has known what is going to happen. So there is no amount of prayer to stop that from happening. Joseph did not go and continue praying to God, God, please don't allow this to happen. No. Rather, he went to do what? Prepare himself for the people of Egypt were served. They had abundant food, even to the extent of being able to sell to others, neighboring countries. Why am I saying this? I'm explaining the essence of prophecies. Most of you might have heard about the 7 years of the tribulation that will happen. If you have had it, and up till now, you are not doing anything towards that, then you will turn yourself to be like stone. Each way you pour water on it cannot penetrate. You are abusing the word of God. Because this must come to pass. Your prayer, children of God, be that God may grant you the grace to persevere during that time. So the prophecy said that during that 7 years, half of the 7 years, which will be 3.5 years, will be washed. There will be no food. If you happen to have food, you will take money to buy money in order to buy food. This will last for 3.5 years. And those who will be affected mostly is you and I. Because of our faith. But there is remedy. And that remedy, if you take it to the letter, you won't suffer during that time of tribulation. The remedies are as follows. One, because that time, even having electricity token, you won't get it. Best thing for you is start investing on anything that has to do with solar. The free light, free power, free energy God have given us. The second proposal is start farming. Which kind of crops? More especially those cereal that can be harvested and stored for a long time, like maize, beans. We have been taught on how to preserve them. You can preserve them if you can buy for yourself a drum. Get enough bilibili, pour it inside. After having poured the cereal, it will stay many years without anything destroying it. Get natural meat. If you like, something like kienyeji. Have you slaughtered it? Don't cook it. Fry it for less than 5 minutes. Go and expose it to the sun. Let the sun dry it, kabisa, for at least 21 days. The third project is dig normal borehole and put enough purification mechanism inside it. The well Abraham digged for his people are still there up to today. Be wise. Be wise. Stop eating everything now. As you say, you're going to die tomorrow. Serve! Think about tomorrow. If you don't see tomorrow, all that you'll be alive, let them eat. You must have served them. It's not the West. If you put all these things in place, then you can go on praying that God may grant you the grace to persevere when that time comes, because it must come. Play your own part. God will definitely play his own part. Christ, thy kingdom come.
In us, through Mary.